We've been in Amsterdam for the last few days after a train ride from London on the Eurostar over to Amsterdam, but today the journey is all about leaving Amsterdam and with Deutsche Bahn. We are heading into Germany. When? We're doing that today. Where? We're going to Cologne and we're leaving from Amsterdam Centraal. What a stunning station that is. It's been a glorious couple of days here. The sun has been shining, there hasn't been a cloud in the sky, but it is time to depart Amsterdam and head on a Deutsche Bahn down to Cologne in first class. I think it's time to get back in, get the luggage, get on board this train and see how this journey goes. Let's now depart Amsterdam. Train's not on the board yet, so don't exactly know which platform we're going from. The EURAIL app says platform 5, so hopefully it is correct, but it does say limited connection, which does mean it could be a change of platform. So we are going to have to wait. We've got about 40 minutes before the train actually departs anyway. So let's wander to the other side, which looks out into the bay here at Amsterdam. And we find ourselves on the other side of the station and you get this amazing little outlay look. There is a free ferry that takes you from one side to the other, and on the other, just up there, let's zoom in, you could do the swing. Yes, you heard me right. There are people on a swing hanging off the edge of that building up there. That is incredible. Well, hey, what a great harbour anyway. On what is an absolute stunning day here in Amsterdam. That's the other side of the station. Up top, buses, bikes, and more bikes down below. It's fantastic. Little station, the ferries, the harbour. It's got everything. Shops, you name it. If you need to grab a coffee, you've got your Starbuckses. If you want a beer, you've got your beer, your brew dog. I'll get it out. The tongue is working. I need a coffee as I try and navigate the bikes. And it's now time to go board the train to Cologne, the DB ICE train. 2 hours 40 minutes is the time it's supposed to take to get down to Cologne. Let's see how we go. And when we get to Cologne, that is when you exit a station, and I'm led to believe, I've never been there, but I'm led to believe it's pretty exciting. First class. As we look outside the train, we've got no time to go, a minute to go, and then we're off. These doors are going to shut. Let's jump on board and find our seat. And we're off out of Amsterdam on our way to, and we've stopped already. That was a good start. Is Deutsche Bahn being Deutsche Bahn, or are we going to go? So we've moved a whole 2 meters and we're still in Amsterdam. There hasn't been an announcement. Why? Maybe because we're waiting for that. And we're moving. We might have been waiting for that domestic train. No, we've stopped again. Stopped again. That time half a meter? Just into notch 1. Notch 1 will get us going, notch 2 will get us further, and notch 3, I've driven this train on the train simulator. They need a drive, I'm happy to go forward. Oh, we're on the way again. Here we go. Third time lucky. Let's now leave Amsterdam Centraal. Fingers crossed.
Good try, Adam. Een hele goede dag, dames en heren. Hartelijk welkom aan boord van deze ICE International 125 der Deutsche Bahn'ed International op weg naar Frankfurt, Hauptbahnhof via Utrecht, Arnhem, Oberhausen, Duitsburg, Düsseldorf, Keulen en Frankfurt luchthaven.
So things to look out the window for are tulip farms. Yes, fields full of tulips. Time of season where the tulips are blossoming. So hopefully, as we go along, we can tick that box of seeing the tulips coming near almost harvest time. And we're finally accelerating out of Amsterdam. That is the challenge of today, to check out the tulips growing on the side in the fields as we travel through Holland into Germany. On the ICE, I will also do seat review here in first class, check out the cafe, toilets, all the normal stuff as the trip goes on. But first of all, let's tick off the box of tulips. None at the moment. It's a train though.
And our journey today takes us from Amsterdam in the Netherlands all the way down to Cologne in Germany. Around about a 2 hours and 40-minute journey on the ICE DB train.
No tulips on those fields. Cows in the distance. Still no tulips. Come on, tulips. First class, however, let's talk about a very bouncy train. Doors that don't work, I'll show you that. First class setup, let's have a discussion around that. So it's a 1x2 configuration. There are sections of single seats by themselves. There are single seats facing another single seat with a table in between, and that's the same for the double seats as well. First class has two sections to it. There is a complete carriage of first class, and then there is the first class carriage rearing, which has two sections, which is a quiet zone and also the normal rowdy zone, with the kids sit in the rowdy zone. This is a very bouncy train at the moment, as still no tulips. So the first class seat, stacks of leg room, absolutely massive amount of leg room. You get the little footstool, so you can either put that up, put it up, you got extra leg room of course, put it down, it fits kind of. Does it want to go down now? Why is that? Did I click something to lock it in? There we go. And it goes down, and you get your footrest there. I don't normally use it, it just doesn't feel right, but that's the leg room. Pouch to put things in if you want to put things in. Rubbish, unfortunately the rubbish was left on the previous train, so it's still there, so down marks for cleanliness. You've got little drinks holder here, great, put a can or bottle there and it'll hold it. Now on the bounciness of this train at the moment, definitely needed. And shove that up. You got your table. Table is nice and big for a laptop, made to measure. You've also got this handy little feature which you could put another iPad and then lock it in as well with that. So you put an iPad screen or whatever in that spot there. So stacks of room to put the gear on that table. It's a massive table, as you can see. That's a huge table. The little clips and etc. There is a coat hanger. Click the button, pops out, push it back in. Push it back in, and it clicks back in. What does the seat have? It's got two armrests, both of them go up. Yes, both armrests up. So you've got plenty of room. If you want them down, just push it down like normal. On each seat, they do have a power socket, but not USB. That's power socket, no USB. Still no tulips. And the power socket is just power sockets there. But again, no USB. You've also got this little spot where you can put things if you want. I guess if you've got a power board, you can put the power board there, hook it in, and away you go. Armrest. Headrest is interesting. Lovely and soft, and you've got a little soft cushion there, sitting nicely there. You can sit nicely with the headrest, it's interesting. This, however, are fixed. So on either side, they're fixed. Now, if you're a busy bee like me who likes to look out the window, your head kind of gets squashed into a corner and you kind of feel awkward, so you do lean forward. And if you lean forward and you want to get real close to the window, like I just did, the back of your head hits it. that side, the window side, probably not. Every seat has them. But apart from that, these are absolutely fantastic seats. Very, very comfortable. And probably the best ones we've come across so far on the trip through Europe, besides this. And that's the only downside. Apart from that, fantastic seat, still no tulips. If you don't want to look out the window, there's also a blind that you can reduce, and it reduces the sunlight. You can still see out, but it's just kind of like a fly screen there instead. It kills the picture a little bit if you don't want direct sun on you. However, if someone was sitting in the seat behind me and didn't want it down, then you've got the argument, hey, I want this down or not. For me, it's up, so we can see tulips. There are still no tulips. This is the child's changing room, and let's lock that door. The kiddies' changing room and also the disabled toilets. It is massive, great mirrors, body length mirrors as well. Hello there. Change table. Look, the fishy is yellow submarine, top's come down, nice and soft. They're gonna love that. And stacks of room, so really cool little change room. Even that on the roof, they've gone to that extra mile. I like it in here for kids, and we'll use it later on. But yeah, nice big changing room for kids. Fantastic little room. Let's get out of here. Let's unlock it. Press the button and see if we can see tulips. Still no tulips. Cafe and restaurant car. Set up with some tables. And let's check out the menu. We have toasted cheese sandwich, that looks delicious. Some beers and alcohol, hamburgers. We've got snacks. Main dishes. There is stacks of food in this train. That's a breakfast menu. This is non-alcoholic beverages. And then your alcohol. Oh, good, thank you. Thing about this seat, there is a recline. Yes, we do have a recline, and it's right down in a really awkward spot, but hey, next to a PowerPoint. Down here is the recline. That there is the recline, and it brings the seat quite a way forward, so let's have a look. And oh la la, we're now reclined. That is a good spot to see tulips out the no, still no tulips out the window. Oh, hello. So when we travelled up to Hamburg, there were, back in 2018, there were fields of tulips. That's because we headed in the northeast direction, but heading southeast and down towards Cologne, they don't have the fields of tulips that they did up in the northern half of the Netherlands. So instead you get hedges and trees and farms of normal farms and cattle farms and sheep farms and those kinds of things. So yeah, it's not as picturesque. There is of course luggage storage. You can throw your luggage, there's two sides of that on both sides. So stacks of room for all your large luggage. And then at the top, you've also got your bag storage. Arnhem Central, it's our last stop in the Netherlands. check out the map. We've just left Arnhem, the last station in the Netherlands, and we're getting closer to that border into Germany there. And we've still got, whoa, it's a rough ride. We've got all those stations through Düsseldorf before we get to Cologne. Around about 2:45. We are running a bit late, but we are doing 128 kilometers an hour at the moment. Beautiful time to zoom in as we are getting closer and closer to the border. We are inching closer. Let's just take a look at that. See the border just there. It's a big warm welcome from Germany. Yes, we've crossed the border from the Netherlands into Germany now and on our way to Cologne. I hear it smells good there. Wow. We're really going to leave that joke in. You betcha we are.
New country.
At each seat you do find a QR code that does take you to a little ICE portal which has the menu at the restaurant, so you can actually go in and see what they've got on offer on the train, which is fantastic that you can actually do that, figure out the order and wander down and place your lunch. There's a lot of scenery that looks like this at the moment on the line. So whilst that's happening, I'm going to just sit back and relax. Just been handed some chocolate. Not gonna say no to that. Welcome to Düsseldorf.
Uitstappen rijden in links maar links rijden.
Ja, dat is 3 jaar daar is niet teleurgesteld.
And we step on to Cologne train station. And there's the train that's just brought us all the way from Amsterdam to Cologne, the ICE. That was a ripper. What a journey that was. Very bumpy at the start, but very smooth by the end. Quick and efficient all the way from Amsterdam to Cologne, where we are now. So let's get out of this station and find our accommodation. So I'm led to believe there's something pretty cool when you walk out of this station, and we're about to go find it or pretty much see it. So let's get out of here and find it as we dodge every man and his dog. Woo. And that is what you see when you walk out of the station. Holy moly. Wow. That is spectacular. What an entrance to Cologne. The Cologne Cathedral. That is absolutely impressive. But don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this trip so far across Europe as we try more trains. And there's still more to come on this epic journey across Europe. Let's now find our way to the hotel. Until the next one, goodbye. So at each seat there is this QR code, and the QR if you've got a person behind you.
Dames en heren, op enkele ogenblikken bij het station van Utrecht Centraal. Mocht u het blijven laten maken voor het reizen met deze internationale IC. Fijne dag en graag tot de volgende keer. Meine Damen und Herren, in Kürze erreichen wir das Bahnhof von Utrecht Centraal.
If you've got a seat behind you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about a few moments arriving at the station of Utrecht Central Station. En dames en heren, uw aandacht. Rondom Utrecht zijn vaak tasdiep en zakrols actief. Let op uw eigendommen. Meine Damen